Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is smiling. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
Hello, hello, hello. All right. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hello, Janice. Hello, M. Blanc. Hello, Pink Phoenix and Kelly the OG. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing good this morning. Nice to see everybody in here. Come on out. I'm going to shake them bushes this morning. Now, y'all can stay in there if you want to. If you still got on your rollers and your hair and your jammies and all that. No, I ain't going to sing anyway. Just playing. Just playing. I don't look so hot myself this morning. David don't look so hot himself up there on my screen either, does he? Just kidding. Just kidding, y'all. Just kidding. It's all good in Smiley's hood, honey. How y'all doing this morning? Everybody doing good? Hey, Tammy T, good to see you, sunshine. Hello, hello, hello. Today is October 11th. It's a little bit better today. We all woke up, didn't we? Hit them thumbs up for waking up. We should at least get a thumbs up for waking up, opening our eyes today. October 11th, 2025. Good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your V8 juice, grab your vitamins. Take your vitamins this morning. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Smiley's on today. I don't know which one of my altars you got today, but you got me. Still in your PJs, hair balled up in a bun. Mine probably needs to be balled up today. Mine's down. It's old raggedy crap today. I don't know what I'm going to do with it today, actually. I don't know. It's a cool, crisp breeze outside. I like how it is today. I got my coffee sitting here. I don't have a Dr. Pepper, but I got my Coca-Cola sitting here. It's either Coca-Cola with me or Dr. Pepper. You're going to see one or the other. You ain't going to really see no more. Now, unless I'm going to be polite if I go to somebody's house and I'll drink something else, but those are my two choices. And sweet tea, of course. Sweet tea. The other night, my twins had to drive around looking for a hair. Look, I said looking for a hair. Look, my eyes ain't working today. Looking for their friend's car who wanted to. Oh my God. Thankfully, they got there in time. En Blanc. Oh my God. I know they were so scared, honey. I am so glad they found them. Are they okay? Are they okay now? Oh, Lord, honey, that is scary. That's a lot. Thank God for your children who helped them. Thank goodness. That's scary. I hope they got help. I hope they're going to be okay. That's a scary, scary thing. Yeah. It is cool here today, Kelly. It feels good out there. Now, it might be hot later on. You never know. Listen, one thing about Florida is always on menopause. You never know what you're going to get. You never know. You never know. Yep, thank God they're okay, Janice. Thank God. Wow. Sad, sad. That is sad. I hope they get the help they need. I hope everything's okay. So sad, man. There's a lot going on in here. I hope, I hope one thing by you coming in here and, you have resources that you can give your kids to give to them and point them in the right direction, and even on their phone if they ever need to talk to somebody, or those numbers or text messages or whatever, because they're crying out, they need help. It's so sad. And I'm glad your kids didn't have to walk up on nothing or anything more sinister, but thank God your kids know and can help. Wow. So much going on in this world. It's heavy. It's heavy. Y'all ever heard of the saying, if you don't have nothing to hide, you hide nothing? That's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about today. Oh, wow. So sad. So sad. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Tell your kids, or you to get in touch with that mom and make sure that they have all that they need as far as resources and numbers, because sometimes they don't know. Sometimes the parents don't know. Just tell them you're not trying to intrude, or drop it on their doorstep. These are help numbers just in case. Something might be going wrong, and they might look at that and say, well, I need to call. This is the time I need to call for help, Need to call. I need to call. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody for always coming in. We never know sometimes when a live or when something said by y'all in the chat, by me, by anybody, will help somebody. And that is my goal, because y'all are more help as well than you really are. Before we dive in, because today there's some stuff I want to talk about David, and it's come out that he's transferred his properties and all this stuff. Hey Dawn, hello. But right before I come online, I opened my email and I had got a video from somebody, and I watched about 2 seconds of it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this video up. I didn't get to investigate it real good. It's okay. We're going to watch it together. And that's why I got the credit up of Misty Extra. And we're going to watch it first. We're going to watch it together. And the reason why is because I also feel like it may tie in from what I heard and what I saw and what was in my email. And we're going to watch it real quick first and go ahead and get it out of the way. It's about 12 minutes. And then I'm going to go on with my live. And then we'll do that. But I felt like maybe it's important. But today we're going to talk about if you got nothing to hide, you hide nothing. It's a wake-up call from Smiley Stories World. And people always say innocent until proven guilty, and everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But if you have nothing to hide, you don't hide nothing. You don't panic in the moment, right? The truth is starting to breathe, I believe. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to put you all on mute, or I'm going to put my mic on mute, and I'm going to play this video. So come on in, hit the like button, and enjoy.
Death. Proving it in court will be far more difficult.
A plausible reason of what happened possibly is that she had access to his car. He travels the world, and somebody, one of her friends, somebody else, harmed her and put her in the car.
So as Celeste Rivas Hernandez's loved ones gathered under the cloudy California sky to say their final goodbyes, whispers that truth behind her death might be darker than anyone imagined. 1 month after her body was found hidden in the trunk of David's Tesla, her family is now publicly accusing him of bribing the police to cover up what really happened. They say justice for Celeste is being delayed, not because of lack of evidence, but because of powerful hands are making sure the wrong people stay quiet. And as more details surface about the final months of Celeste's life, her mother's fear of David is becoming painfully clear. Celeste's story is one that still haunts California. She was just 14 when her decomposing body was discovered in the trunk of a Tesla parked on a quiet street in Hollywood Hills. The car had been sitting there for weeks before being towed. And when investigators opened that trunk, they found what no one could have prepared for. Celeste had been missing for months, and while her family never stopped looking, they never imagined that she was so close to someone famous or that her story would explode across the internet the way that it did. After her body was discovered, the Los Angeles County coroner confirmed it took almost 2 weeks for Celeste's remains to be released to her family. She was finally laid to rest at the Queen of Heaven Cemetery in Rowland Heights, but even in her burial, questions hung heavy in the air. Police say that
again, we've talked about this over and over and over again. Hey, wait, what? I don't believe that her family, and now I'm beginning to believe that his family, I don't believe that nobody knew she was not hooked up to somebody so famous. I just wanted to stop and say that. Okay, so welcome in, everybody. Go ahead and hit that like button, and we're going to continue. Hold on.
Tesla had been abandoned for several weeks, and according to a report from the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, Celeste may have been deceased for several weeks before discovery. The cause and manner of death were both listed as deferred, and that means that even now no one knows exactly how she died or when. And this is where things start to get really strange. The LAPD said that they were thoroughly examining every aspect of the case, but people close to Celeste didn't buy it for a second. They even pointed out that David still wasn't being treated as a suspect, which was heartbreaking for the family. From the very beginning, they felt the investigation just didn't sit right, too quiet, too slow, and way too careful whenever it came to David. Even though detectives served a search warrant at the Hollywood Hills home where David had been staying, he was never named as a suspect, and his home was combed through for possible blood evidence, according to a TMZ report, but nothing has been confirmed publicly. Police even checked drains and floors for tissue traces, yet despite all that, not a single charge has been filed. And that's when Celeste's mother allegedly broke her silence. She alleged that she had been terrified of David for months before Celeste's death, and now allegedly believes that someone within the system might be protecting him. The family also alleged that officers refused to return calls, ignore leads, and brushed off earlier complaints. And while all this is happening, David kept posting. Just days after Celeste's body was found, he performed one last show, then suddenly canceled the rest of his Withered World tour. And fans noticed that his silence
I told y'all I'm watching this just like y'all. I'm going to have to see proof his mother was scared of her mother, was scared of him. Now, I'm not saying anything about this video or creator. It could be true. And I'm going to have to see proof that there was I'm not buying it. I call bullshit. Not on this creator. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm watching this just like y'all. This was put before my show, but I believe, like her brother said, the family knew where she was. So I'm just saying to her mother, not any creators. Because we put out what we know and what's being said. Look, family, and I'm sorry you lost her. The money was good while it was good, and you never expected your child to be deceased or unalived. But don't go backtracking now because you're scared everything's going to fall on you. I said what I said. I said what I said. Like it or don't like it, I don't care. Let's go.
Afterward wasn't grief. It felt like panic. Then something even more unsettling surfaced. On what would have been Celeste's 15th birthday, September 7, 2025, David posted that he was dropping 15 songs, and fans immediately connected it to her, saying it was his twisted way of a trail of evidence. And one comment went viral, dropping a song every year on her birthday and releasing 15 tracks on her 15th birthday. That's not a coincidence. Another fan wrote, the fact that there's proof of him romanticizing gore and murder makes this look planned. He's sick. People online weren't just angry, they were convinced, and many said that this wasn't a random tragedy. It was something calculated, something premeditated. And that's where it gets really dark. Before Celeste's body was found, she had already disappeared multiple times. Police records from Riverside County show her family reported her missing at least 3 times in early 2024. And each time she came back, each time she said nothing about where she'd been. Neighbors said she'd walked to the corner store with her friends, just another kid with curly hair and a backpack. But her mom's Facebook posts tell another story, a desperate mother pleading for her daughter to come home. And then around Valentine's Day, 2024, Celeste ran away again, and that was the beginning of an end. Months later, police would find her body. So here's the thing. When investigators reached out to David, he was already on tour. He got the news about what had happened, and not long after, he deleted a bunch of his social media posts and locked down his subreddit, where fans had been talking about the case. Reddit users started noticing something really weird. Any post that mentioned Celeste was disappearing, and people were saying that David himself, since he was the only moderator, was deleting comments and threads and accused him of being involved. And that's when things got really shady. Folks online started saying that Celeste's family had already been worried about, that David wasn't just hiding something, he might actually be paying people off. And then others pointed out if the LAPD really wanted to charge him, they would have done it already. It just didn't add up. And people started whispering that someone was making sure that this was staying quiet. And honestly, that's exactly where their family thinks. They said money and influence were getting in the way of justice, and David got questioned but never arrested. Police kept saying they were waiting for the medical examiner's results, even though they were signs of possible foul play. This just seemed obvious. And then it got even worse. Some messages leaked online that suggest that Celeste had been assaulted by another adult even before she met David. And that made people start asking how many people in her life failed her, and if someone close to her might have helped cover things up. It's just a lot to wrap your head around, and for fans following every detail, the story kept getting even more alarming. Even David's manager, Josh Marshall, couldn't escape the attention. When a fan asked him if he'd ever received an email from Celeste's family before her death, he denied knowing anything. I have zero knowledge of anything, he said on TikTok, but people just didn't buy it. Later, Marshall added, let me remind people, a lot of this is speculation and alleged. But those words just didn't help. By then, screenshots and email timestamps were already floating around online and suggested that the family had tried to reach out. And the more they talked, the more fans started noticing patterns. Celeste's long curly brown hair, almost every girl in David's music videos have the same look. Some even said that he had an obsession with her image. Then came the most disturbing link of all, his February music video for One More Dance. In the visuals, a body is dragged and placed inside a car trunk. David played both the killer and the victim.
The heavier the rain, the heavier the snow.
After Celeste's body was found in the trunk of his Tesla, fans rewatched that video in shock. Many called it a confession hiding in plain sight. And when you put it all together, it starts looking less like a coincidence and more like a man covering his tracks. Celeste's family now says they believe David paid to slow down the investigation to make it look like nothing could have been proven until the coroner gave an answer. But that answer still hasn't come. And yet there's more. After Celeste's body was found, internet detectives started going through every piece of his case, every timestamp, every street photo, every clue that might explain how that Tesla ended up parked for weeks without anyone noticing. That's when something strange popped up online. A Tesla key allegedly found in the same Hollywood Hills house David had been renting. People believed it might belong to the car Celeste was found in, and that's where the weird part happened. The key was discovered past the house, far from the driveway and main entrance. Several locals said that there were Teslas that had parked in that same spot. Now, people were wondering, was that key even for David's car, or did someone plant it there to throw off investigators? Because if the key really didn't belong to his Tesla, then who had the real one? Who drove off to the car where it was eventually towed? Because apparently, a lot of people had access to the car.
A lot of people had access to that Tesla. That's from somebody connected to all of this, and maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But if they did,
well,
That would definitely complicate matters.
Remember the car's Texas registration had already expired months earlier? It had been ticketed in February and then sat untouched for weeks. And some say Celeste might have died long before September, maybe even back in February or March, which would match the timeline of when the Tesla stopped moving. That detail alone makes the story feel way more complicated than we were even being told. And now when people online saw that key discovery, they started connecting it to another theory that someone could have helped David more or hide the body. But again, there's no proof. What we do know is that Tesla had been sealed up long enough that decomposition slowed down, which explains why investigators struggled to determine her exact time of death. Still, the question remains, why was that car just sitting there for so long, and why didn't the police check it sooner, especially since it had been multiple parking tickets? And that's when fans began to speculate that maybe someone inside law enforcement was turning a blind eye. Celeste's family claimed that they made several calls to report her missing, and each time she came home. But when she vanished for good, her mom said things felt different, and when she tried to follow up, she barely got answers. That silence from the authorities is what sparked the rumor that someone powerful might have been interfering. Some believe that David's fame and money might have helped him delay things, and others think that the police were just overwhelmed or careless. Either way, it fed into the growing idea that something wasn't right. Meanwhile, online investigators were uncovering things that painted a picture of someone trying to bury the noise or at least control it. And when fans noticed that David was the only moderator in his own subreddit, it raised serious concerns. People started saying he was removing all posts about Celeste, and many questioned why an innocent person would take such actions. Again, this made people question why the artist who once shared so much online suddenly went completely silent, deleting comments, locking down his accounts, and disappearing right when things got serious. Now, knowing that she already called the police several times about her daughter going missing gives that claim some emotional weight. And if she truly felt scared of David, that would explain why she's been so vocal about not trusting the investigation. But while the family feels unheard, the LAPD keeps repeating the same message. According to their official statement, they're still digging into every part of the case, trying to figure out exactly what really happened and get justice for Celeste. And what's truly disturbing is the unreleased track that leaked on SoundCloud called Celeste Demo Unfin. The lyrics mention her name several times, and that was enough for people to believe that this connection to her wasn't just emotional. It might have been something deeper. Friends from his circle even said that they frequently saw them together and believed they were romantically involved. And when you add all this up, it's no wonder Celeste's family feels like they're being shut out of their own daughter's case. But while the public is connecting dots, the LAPD hasn't named any suspects. Until that happens, no arrests can be made. The delay has fueled even more rumors, and some think that David's team might be trying to buy time, maybe to clean up, maybe to move evidence, maybe to let the noise die down. And others say it's just how the justice system works, slow and methodical. Whatever the truth is, the case feels frozen in time, and for Celeste's loved ones, that's the hardest part. Her mother has said that she feels the world has been moving on while her daughter's story has been buried, just like the unanswered questions. Still, new pieces keep resurfacing, and each detail adds another layer of mystery, another reason for people to believe something bigger might be going on. Whether David bribed anyone or not, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. The investigation around him has been anything but ordinary.
So, who do you believe? What's going on? We all know she went home to visit. We all know this is the craziest case ever. We all know the brother and sister went out to party with both of them. We all know they were romantically involved. We all know all the things. I don't know. I don't get it. Her mom should look up, Smiley. She's not giving up on her. I don't know. I don't know. Did she really call the law all that time she was missing? Well, I'd like to know, was there searches going on? All the things. Salem, witch hunt, guilty until proven innocent is how is done nowadays. LAPD has some work to do on this one. Yeah, they definitely have some work to do on this one. And public opinion, I mean, he's not been named. He's not been said he's guilty or, in a court of law or a suspect or anything. Public opinion is harsh, though. Public opinion is harsh. Scared. I don't believe, in my opinion, I don't believe the parents was scared at all, though, of him. Hell, I'd be more scared of the Bower Sox and the Proud Feet if I was anybody rather than somebody like David, even though he's big time and got money. I'm just saying. Y'all don't even understand. Strange thing, the Tulsa was just a few steps away from the house. And the Hollywood Hills on the corner. Yes, and even Steve Fisher walked in. I really appreciate him, or no matter who it would have been, but I appreciate that he went down and walked and showed. I liked seeing that video where he walked down through that neighborhood, showed around the corner and where that car was parked. Now they're saying that key, whether that was David's key or not, I don't know. Whether it belonged to that car or not, I don't know. Only the cops know that, right? Okay, Janice, that's fine. Only the cops know that. I think that was mighty strange too. Was that a setup? Was it really dropped by accident? Was it, and some people are stupid enough to leave their keys in the car sometime or around the car. Was it when it was towed? Was it there and was it dropped and then run over and this, that, and the other, and just out in the weathered storms and run over and this, that, and the other? That could have been a possibility too. But the point was, they said it was down the street a little bit. So what? Even if it was his, it could have been that happened because the car was down the street. Can I ask a question? Yes, you can ask anything you want. Go ahead. Sure. I mean, you're welcome here. Go ahead and ask. I mean, I'll try my best. I don't know if I have an answer to it or what my answer will be, but you can ask. You're welcome to ask. You're welcome. We just try to think outside the box. Because the car was down the street around the corner. What does that mean? To me, well, I'm going to tell you, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. I can only tell you from my experience. Okay. And that's why I like seeing what Steve did, walking around and all that. It's a long time that I've seen something like that. But anybody who knows Nashville, Tennessee, Woodland Street in East Nashville, more on the East End side, down by Laughlin School and all that. We had little sidewalks, and everybody always parked their cars in the street. So although David had a little, and I'd never been to Hollywood, over in Hollywood, I'd never been to California. So although there was a driveway, they claimed that he had a 3-car garage, but one of them was a gym, whatever, it don't matter. What I'm saying is I see a lot of people parked on the streets, and although it was parked, I mean, I don't see anything odd about that. In my opinion, what does it mean? So the only thing that if I was to see something odd about it would be, one, why was it parked around the corner? Would it be because, was it so busy and everybody had company that they parked around. I mean, look, to me, I mean, I don't want to not make sense. To me, I would just question, why would it be down the street around the corner? It's a Tesla. I mean, isn't that a very expensive car? Why would you want your shit where you couldn't see it, or somebody couldn't watch out for it, or the neighbors or whatever? Why are you going to park it down the road, down the street? Unless it's not an abnormal thing. It wouldn't be abnormal to me that he parked it on the street. Okay. That's number one. And it's not abnormal to me that he would park it up and down the street. But why was it around the corner? Was it because there's not as many cameras over there? But then when Steve was walking, what about that house up there on the hill, way up there? How did they know there wasn't a shot of somebody being able to put her in the front or trunk right there? You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I just do these shows. I don't know. I try to figure stuff outside the box. What do you think? Let me ask you, what do you think? I mean, for the most part, I don't find it unusual. For the most part. But let me say this on the other part. He had a 3-car garage. One of them was a gym, so he didn't park in the driveway. He parked on the street. Okay. All right. Well, why the hell didn't he park in the other 2 parking garages? I'm just asking. And if it's going to be outside, why didn't he just park in the driveway? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a few thousand people. Do you have a thought? I mean, we're just having discussions here. That's all. I'm not accusing anybody. I've never accused it. I don't know. But if you have nothing to hide, you don't hide anything. Yeah, I mean, and I was looking at those trash, I was looking at the trash cans and stuff too. And I was thinking like everything's so close, so close there. Wouldn't it be in the way of the trash pickup and all that kind of stuff? Hey, Faye. I would think it would be. That's why maybe if it wasn't supposed to be there, somebody called to have it removed, to have it towed away, especially on the other street. I mean, hey, that car don't belong there. And if they said, oh, that's David's car down the road, or that's that guy's car, we would sit on the porch in Tennessee and go, oh, that's that guy up there, Why didn't they go up there and knock on the door? Okay, was nobody home? Was he on tour? I mean, but again, I mean, who did he hire somebody to do this? And then another thing, me just sitting here talking to you, see, we're talking this out. I don't know about the other 2 park garage, 1, 2. Was anything in there? Did he ever park the car in there? Was the car parked in there long enough? This is a thought just now off the split top of my head. Sometimes I do that too. What, did something go wrong? Whether he was there on tour or had somebody, I don't know. So, and, was she there and something happened and they put her in the front and then pulled the car out and then set it on the street, hoping that and moving the car 2 or 3 times, and then hoping it would get towed away and it would get smashed. I don't know. Oh yeah, it was searched. The Hollywood Hills home was searched after. Now, are you talking about Tammy, his original home that his manager lived in? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. I just heard, the where David lived in Hollywood Hills, that was under the manager's name. For some reason, he rented it for David, but that happens a lot. There was a Tesla and a Mercedes van in the garage. Oh, so there was another Tesla and another Mercedes. Okay, so riddle me this. Okay, so this makes sense. Okay, so, how do we know one or the other wasn't moved? Something did happen in the house. They moved the Tesla that was, okay, you're making perfect sense to me now. This, okay, listen, Linders, listens, ladies and gents. Now, what if that one of those cars was moved out or gone or driven? Somebody they told them to drive it off, whatever. Put that Tesla that she was found in one of those spots, put her in the front from the house, put that Tesla back out on the street when the other one come back put it back in the garage where it normally is, and then voila, there you go. I'm just saying, what if? What if? Could it be possible? Of course. See, you're telling me something I don't know. I have these questions, but if that's what you're telling me, then that right there is a great possibility. And then he goes on his tour, and whoever has all the time in the world until they find it, till they tow off the car, and until they find it, to do their little cleanups. And then, of course, when they go in, finally, way after the fact, and they can do luminol and do everything they can, and yes, they will still find blood. I just did a tour down there, which I still got to put on my, y'all, it's still coming, I promise. I just got to figure out how to get it uploaded to, anyway, never mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My normal people do. Anyway, and years and years and years and decades later, they can still get traces of blood. Okay? But I don't know. We don't know what they found there. But we know David up and left, and his manager, and they said that the lease was broke. Now, whether they were asked to leave because of all this, I don't know. Did cops take a cadaver dog in the house? I don't know. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. But I do know that they did the luminol and stuff. If anybody else here knows, I mean, so I mean, they're welcome to tell you. I don't know. But I know they got the hell out of Dodge. I mean, I don't know. But yeah. But what we're being told, no, you're being perfectly respectful. I mean, if I don't know, I mean, I'm not trying to put out any false information or anything like that. I mean, I'll play these videos if I don't know, I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, thank you for asking the questions and stuff. I mean, but I think a lot is going on in this case. I think it's very twisted. Look, if there's one thing that I believe about David, he knew she was underage. Okay. I believe he handpicked her, in my opinion, when he met her online. I believe, like these videos say, he does have a preference. I don't know what went wrong where. I do believe her family knew exactly where she was at. I do believe she ran away at one point. I do believe that. But she went home. You're not a runaway. Listen, I know I don't. I've had that in my family. It didn't turn out too good. We won't go through all that and get on that subject or whatever. And they were unalived in California. Matter of fact, many years we won't go through all that, but I've got stories, and I've been around the block or two myself, so I just don't believe a lot of things. Should he have already been taken downtown? Sure, he should have. Will he be? I think he eventually will be. And I'm just talking to you respectfully. I appreciate you asking those questions, but I think he has a lot to hide, or is trying to hide. And if you don't have anything to hide, you just don't hide anything. You just don't. Now, what I wanted to talk about today, I just wanted to show that video. It come up right before I got ready to go live. And then we'll do the timeline on this, which is really strange. And he obviously is trying to hide stuff, although morally unacceptable. They both were minors. A relationship isn't legally when he turned 18. We have had questions. Well, I guess that's debatable. Because at one point, maybe he should have stopped when he turned 18, right? And he was 20 and she was 15. So I guess that's debatable, respectfully. And also the one video where they're talking and she was talking about him effing kids. I said in my other video, we don't know literally what exactly she meant by that, if she meant just her, or, hey, for all we know, he could have had more on the side at 20 years old. Him, his money, his drugs, or what she felt in her mind, or what she saw with her eyes, heard, whatever. He could have had others, which were 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We don't know, respectfully. Yeah, that is what she said. Or, okay, if you want to say F or rape or whatever, That's what was said. But you can go back and listen to it if you like, respectfully, because I'm not trying to argue with you. But in my opinion, I don't know, again, what she meant. I couldn't get it in. I can't get in her head. I can't get in his head or anybody else's head. But, that's what I think. But anyway, what I wanted to do, I didn't want to talk about all that, but I feel like your question is answered as far as the car. I'm more afraid of the corrupt law. No, that's not what was said. We'll get to all that in a little bit, and I may even pull that back up, but that's not what was said. That's not what was said. And I will disagree with you on that, so we'll just have to agree to disagree on that one. Respectfully, we'll just have to agree to disagree on that one. But you don't start signing paper. This is what I want to talk about today. You don't start signing papers over or transferring houses or hiding your assets and putting them in your mama's name. Not when an underage child's, and I call her a child. In my eyes, she's a child. A child's body is found in your car. You don't do that. You don't run quiet and disappear, from the spotlight. You don't think you can outsmart the law, because in the long run, you're not going to do that. You're just not. But because the truth, it don't scare you. The truth don't scare you at all, right? Not if you're innocent. It only haunts the guilty, right? More happening right now is very strange. It's very strange to me in the David and Celeste case in California. So let's talk about what's really going on here. David, in my opinion, is starting. That don't mean he is, but it's my thoughts and my opinions, and I'm entitled that. He's starting to look more guilty. I don't know about the swatting. I don't know about all that. We played all that. We went over that the other night. I've played many lives on it. The police sent me all the stuff, and I played all that. All of that. I don't, somebody used a voice changer. I don't know. It's just all of that's very odd to me. I got the body cams, all that, but altogether, for me anyway, it was just odd, especially now looking back at the timelines and stuff. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. But let's break this down just a second for some new interesting stuff to me. On September 8th, as we know, 2025, Celeste's decomposing body, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, she was found in the Tesla, registered to David, right, in a car that was towed to a Hollywood lot, not very far at all, around the block to his house. That was on September 8th. On September 17th, LAPD searched David's Hollywood Hills rental house. And that evening, Texas deputies responded to a swatting call at the Texas home linked to his family, his mom. We've seen all that. So we went over all that. We showed it. We went over it. Now, we find out, and it's reported, that on the 18th, the day after the swatting calls, 2025, Thursday, in Texas, the Texas home deed was transferred out of David's name and into his mother's name, right? So people, David puts his Texas homes in his mother's name. So that answers my question right there, just in my opinion. When I asked on the swatting, I wonder if his mom knew at that time. Well, hello, I guess she did. She knew more, in my opinion, now. You know, the simple answer would just be yes. It would just be yes. So there was some real estate moves made. Cops was investigating the death of Celeste, whose decomposing body was found in his Tesla, and he transferred a couple of the Texas homes in his mother's name, and that was obtained by TMZ, and the deeds in Houston residence that he owns was transferred. David made changes on September 18th and September 22nd. The 18th was the same day cops was called to one of the homes in the swatting incident. And the caller was apparently using the device to mask their voice, the voice changer, right? So, was it David? I don't know. I'm beginning to have my suspicions, and that's just me. No, protecting assets isn't a crime, but it can be. It can be if they find out he's doing it fraudulent. It sure can be. Just in case you didn't know that, it can be, especially in California, and we're going to get there. If they think you're hiding your stuff, it can be. See, I personally asked during that swatting call, I asked y'all, I said it. Why would they, whoever did it, do that to, and we seen it was in, to me, I just say bum effed Egypt, where they lived. It's what it looked like way back on them roads in Texas. But anyway, why would somebody do that to their house, to his mom? Because I still don't think they should have, unless it was related or for, now I'm thinking about it. Did it have to do, and y'all, I'm sorry, that's my Boston Terrier snoring. You're going to hear Happy today. She's snoring. But unless they knew all about Celeste, or a good point, Lady Q brought it up the other day. Was it a message sent to that family? Maybe. Over Celeste? Maybe. That was a good point. But it was a swatting call. Was it a message? Was it a joke? Was it drama? Was it for attention? I don't know. But I do now feel like, in my opinion, that it had to do with all of this. Somehow, some way, it all ties together. I don't know which one it was, but somehow, some way, it all ties together, right? Either way, maybe he did it. Maybe he was down the road. Maybe he wasn't upstairs with his other brother and sister, like his mom said. She had a son and daughter upstairs. Maybe he had went to hide out at his Texas home, and maybe he was down the road and did it with a voice changer. I think he's got different personalities, if you ask me. Again, I'm not a doctor. We done went all over this. I think he's got some alternates somewhere. Hey, y'all. Hey, Lady Q. But it looks like his parents and his siblings are already living in the home, one of the homes, when the cops showed up. We know that. We do. But as I showed, I didn't see them go upstairs and check who was there. They may have, but I didn't see that, especially the second time we talked about it. And I showed all of what the police department sent me and all of those videos, all the body cams from different angles that I got. I didn't see them go up there and check. But David's government name is David Anthony Burke. And he's tied to this shocking discovery of Celeste's body in his car, whether he likes it or not. And she was reported from her Lake Elshore, California home, where she went missing, allegedly. 2024. Again, I don't know how you go back and argue with the neighbors and go visit and all that stuff when you're missing. So I still have problems with that too. That lady went out and bought yes, she sure did. And people complained about that. Then she gets swatted. Seems they're legally protecting themselves. Well, look, here's the thing. She has every right to go out and protect herself. Hell, I have every right to go out and protect myself. You have every right to go out and protect yourself. You can go buy pew pew. I can go buy pew pew. I have no problem with that. Whether anybody's family has been threatened or not. People might just like to collect pew pews. That's not the issue. And anytime anything happens like that, you're going to be damned if you do and damned if you don't. Look, respectfully, I was the very first one on here, if you go back, and said, damn it. Who swatted this lady? Who swatted this house? Who did this to these people? Go back and listen to my very first live on the swatting. I said, leave these people alone. They don't deserve that. Don't swat these people. Don't F with these people. And I meant it. And I mean it today. You're missing my whole point if you're thinking I think otherwise. That's a dangerous game. It's a deadly game. And I don't give a damn if David himself did it. It can get people killed. Innocent people. Mom, dad, sisters, brothers, neighbors that might want to bring a cherry pie over to the people because of the shit his family's going through. That decided to walk a mile up the driveway. I don't know. Cops, they got families too, and their lives matter too. No matter if you like them or you don't like them. Who you going to call? Ghost fucking busters when you need help? I'm just saying. She can go out and buy what she wants. But look, David himself said he grew up Christian. They were a Christian. I guess you're also going to sit here and tell me and all this chat, we didn't hear what we heard when we played it over and over, and so has many others when he said his mother also come to him about my son writing about, I think, well, whatever my mother says, I'll go do the opposite. But yet, he's giving all his shit to his mama, though. How's he know he ain't going to take it? She ain't going to take it and run because it's his mama, because she's a Christian? I'm just saying. Look, I'm saying his mama knows. I said the other day, too, his mama knows, or she should have known. And because you are a Christian, don't make you a good person. How about that? Do I think this case will be solved? Nah. Let me tell you something. Do I think justice will be done? Or do I think it'll be solved? Because that's two different things. You know what I think? I think this is going to be, you know, the odd part in this, y'all are probably going to all unsub for me, and I'm not going to have a channel after today. And I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not bullshitting you. Okay? I didn't have a YouTube channel when OJ happened. I'm going to answer your question here in just a minute. I'm fixing to ruin my channel. I'm fixing to ruin my channel. But the truth is the truth, and Smiley tells the truth. You couldn't get me to move from the O.J. Simpson case when that trial was on. Not for nada, not for nothing. I watched every bit of it. I didn't care in life what was going on. Okay? And back then, I wasn't on, I don't even think, look, I don't even know if YouTube existed back then. I don't know. I know Nancy Grace did. I know I think Court TV did. Anyway. I'll go ahead and answer your question before I get off on this rant. Because I think y'all are going to be surprised. I think I'm fixing to ruin my channel. I don't care. My thoughts are my thoughts, and my opinions are my opinions. But they're not okay, and I know these are not the same. If I had to choose today, I think David does have something to do with something with Celeste. Let's get that straight. Did y'all understand what I just said? But everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and I'm not accusing David of anything. I don't think Celeste is going to get the justice, because I think he's going to get some lower stuff, or I don't know. I think he will be arrested. I think this is going to be some OJ bullshit, and it's going to be tied up in civil. That's what I'm getting at the OJ, okay? That's what I'm getting at the OJ stuff. But I watched every bit of the OJ. I was not an OJ fan. I was a young girl. Didn't give a damn about OJ Simpson. Still don't. Never did. Wasn't even a football fan. But I never think or thought OJ did it. Still don't. Period. Hate me. Don't care. Don't think he cared. I don't think he did it. And I don't care what y'all think. People are only focused on David. Someone else is getting away with it. I think that's not so much true, because I think, and that's just my opinion respectfully, because I think David, if he didn't do it, he either knows who did, should have known with all the gadgets in his car, or he's protecting someone. And or was his brother there? He was at the concert. I don't know the timeline. Or was he possibly protecting someone within his group? And what I had thought about was this. Did he have someone to do it? Hey, he was freely giving away his money, hush hush money, this, that, and the other. That's what I think. I think David is guilty of one thing for sure, two things for certain, and that is being a pedo. And I have called him that publicly. I have said that publicly, and I believe that publicly. I believe that in my mind. I believe that in my heart. And that's what I believe. Did he do this to Celeste as far as unaliving her? I can't say. I don't know. I need more information and more evidence. I don't know. I don't know. But I think he's a sick, dark human being. I think he has a lot of pain in himself. I think he didn't get the help he needed when he was younger. I don't know what happened to him. If anything, something, somewhere, he could just be born like that. But nobody got him the help he deserved to have. But that's no excuse for the things he likes and is dark and has done. In my opinion. No matter what those things are. And everybody has choices in life. And that's what I think, in my opinion. But that's just me. But I don't know, you know. No, I understand that. I understand. I mean, you're welcome to your opinions, and everybody in here is welcome to your opinions. I appreciate you speaking out and, you know, all those things. It's nice to kind of have a debate and a chit chat and all those things. I'm not trying, you know, I'm not trying to, I don't definitely want to accuse anybody of anything, because again, I'm not, that's not what I'm trying to do. You know, I like to research and talk about it and, you know, do those. I'm not trying to do those. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do those things, but that's just my opinion. We welcome chat. Yeah, we always, thank you, Lady Q, for helping me say that. We welcome the chat and everybody in here and to talk. Listen, everybody, even my mods, sometimes we don't all agree, but we are all adults here. And that's the good thing about it. You know, I just can't, I'm thinking about, you know, him transferring these houses and stuff in his mom's name. And, you know, that don't look good. I mean, if you don't, to me, okay, I'll just say, to me, that don't look good. You know, and look, it's called, listen, there is a thing, it's called fraudulent conveyance. And that's also like a fraudulent transfer. Transfers made like that are to hinder creditors or potential judgments, and these deeds qualify. They qualify in a court, and it can bring into question the timing. It's the timing that they will and can question. See, even if David can't be brought up on charges for her unaliving, Celeste's family, even though I feel, and a lot of people feel, when I'm talking about OJ, they might do just what they did to OJ, because he went through a whole entire trial, right? And OJ was acquitted. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Well, he was acquitted. It don't matter if I think he was guilty or not, right? Ronald Goldman and them's family wasn't taking no for an answer. They went after him until the day he died, and they're still collecting money, right? I heard they're even collecting money from OJ's children, anything now, even after his death, right? They're taking everything, okay? Hell, they'll be like Dolly, a dead man's got to eat. No, a dead man ain't got to eat. That didn't even make sense. But listen, y'all get the gist. Shit, Smiley can't get it this morning. But listen, seriously, the Celeste's family will go civilly after it. It don't matter. They had the flyer out of Celeste. It don't matter if they got broke off any money. It don't matter if they took money. Prove it. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying, prove it. You know, you do something wrong, by the time the police gets here, your little argument goes on and shit, you ain't going to jail. Because you know why? Prove it. You tell that other person, prove it. Prove it. So see, when you can't prove it, and they ain't going to prove him, or if they do, I don't know. He may go through a whole trial and they might let him walk. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, then no matter what part Celeste, the brothers, the sisters partied it up, the teacher, whoever, then they can go civilly, okay? And then they're going to go after his pocketbook. They're going to go after his assets. They're going to go after his house. They're going to go after what the hell ever he has. That's what I'm talking about. And then they're going to look. But in this case, David fucked up. Pardon my French. Oh, I don't say pardon my French for me, because that's me. I'm saying for y'all's little ears. Because I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And I ain't fake. And his daddy, I hear, is an attorney. Well, his daddy fucked up. And he ought to know in the law in California. His daddy fucked up. Whoever gave him advice fucked up. And that's before he got this attorney. Okay? They're going to go after him civilly. And guess what? There's a little thing called fraudulent conveyance. And then they're going to go back and they're going to look at the timelines. And they're going to look at all the things and the transfers and the dates the day after and the this and the that. And guess what? They're going to win. They're going to win. And a civil suit is a lot simpler to win than any criminal. Sure is. And these deeds, these transfers, the timing, that's exactly what investigators and civil attorneys, they scrutinize. They love it. They love it. They live for it. It's exactly what this is. So now the courts see this as fraud. F-R-A-U-D. Fraud. Oh, if they really wanted to, they could reverse it. Don't take my word for it. Just do your research. Do your research. I did. They can reverse it. They can transfer it. You know, they can take it. You know, they can take it. They can sell it. They can do whatever they choose to do. And all of those profits and all the monies and all the houses, they can freeze the bank accounts. It doesn't matter. And they can give it to the family. The Rivas family, that is. That is. He can be made to pay monetary compensation every time he works. It don't matter if he's flipping a burger or he's on the side of the road digging a ditch or he's sitting in his sister's closet or a attic somewhere writing a song or he's releasing it to somebody else to sing. It don't matter. All of those profits go to the family. They won't even care if he's got drawers on or a peanut butter sandwich. They don't care. They freeze it. Ask OJ. Dig him up and ask him. It's tough when this happens. Creditors, plaintiffs, they recover all attorney's fees, all cost, any damages in addition can be added on. David will be real poor broke, and so will his damn family. There's one thing under this Uniform Fraudulent Transfer Act. Go do your research. Creditors can challenge transfers made to any insiders or everything that was transferred, it loses value. Most fraudulent conveyance claims are civil, not criminal. However, there's that however. In certain states, and California is one of them, under fraud, you can get fines, you can get jail time, you can get prison time. Oh, yeah. You have restitution to pay. That's additional penalties and stuff. And in California, hiding or transferring assets to evade creditors under certain circumstances, that is a felony. Fines and imprisonment. So after all, he might not escape any of those. Just have to wait, watch, look, listen. They also have additional consequences if all of this comes about. You know, there's damage. Damage to reputation, especially in high-profile cases. Lots of media coverage, public trust, private trust. They freeze your assets, injunctions, lots of litigations. They put liens on everything. It's a lot to it, man. Do your research. Timing don't lie. Paper trails don't lie. The truth always finds its way out. I don't care what it consists of. The truth always finds its way out. It always comes around. I don't care how fancy you are. I don't care what your last name is. I don't care how many interviews you gave or what you do. You know, also, if you're raised Christian, you can say all the prayers you want to. Faith without honesty, it don't matter. It's hollow. It means nothing. And I'm talking about him. I'm talking about his mama. I'm talking about his daddy. I'm talking about them all. I'm talking about every one of them. You cannot pray your way out of a lie. You can't deed your way out of guilt. You can't deed your way out of a crime. This world better wake up. Let's play another video, okay? Let's play another video.
Look like David has transferred the deeds to two of his Houston area residences that he owns under a trust to his mother. It looks like one deed was changed on September 18th, 2025, and one deed was changed on September 22nd, 2025. Now, one home is the home that his mom, father, and younger siblings live in. The other home, I was unable to find who occupies it, if it's his grandparents, if it's his actual personal home where he lives when he's in Texas. But either way, both homes, the deeds have been put in his mom's name. Now, I think that the timeline of events for when these two deeds were changed is important. So we know that on September 17th, Celeste Rivas Hernandez was identified as the victim found in the front of David's Tesla. The very next day, he wastes no time changing the deed to one of his Houston residences. Remember, the body was found in David's front on September 8th, 2025. He had a whole 10 days to make these changes, but he made the changes as soon as he realized that law enforcement was able to identify Celeste in his vehicle and would be able to determine that he was connected to her. And as we've been talking about Celeste COD and the fact that the medical examiner is having a very difficult time determining that due to the level of decomp, due to the environment that the body was in and how long the body was there, I believe that David, who loves gore, knew that this would happen and probably didn't say anything right away, probably didn't spring into action when it comes to changing anything right away, because one, he may have thought that she wouldn't have been able to be identified, or two, he didn't want the authorities to see him sweating, to see him nervous, to see him start making these changes if he didn't actually need to. But then when he realized that they were 100% going to be able to identify her and that they were 100% going to be able to connect her to him, that's when he sprung into action to try and protect his assets. So the 17th is when Celeste was identified. The 18th is when David changed the deed to the home that his family lives at to his mom's name. And the 18th is also when authorities swatted that residence due to a call that was made with a voice changer, which a lot of people in my comments believe was David utilizing a voice changer for some reason. Of course, we don't have confirmation of that. The same day is when the home that he was staying at in LA, arguably with Celeste, was searched. And the day after that, on September 19th, is when David cancels all remaining shows for his Withered tour. So I think that it's safe to say that David is definitely panicking behind the scenes, even though he is on Discord reading people's messages and playing Fortnite. Whether this was a move suggested by David's legal counsel, Blair Burke, or his father, who we know is in the legal realm, I'm not sure. But I do think that David is worried that he is going to be gone after, if not criminally, civilly, by Celeste's family. And he's trying to protect his money. He's trying to protect his assets, which is smart, but also calculated. And from what we've seen so far, David is definitely very calculated.
I like Matt. He's on TikTok and he's on YouTube. Y'all please go sub up to him. He is very smart. He's very honest, and I really like him. Let's watch another one real quick. Uh-oh, hold on. Why is all these pop-ups stop? Okay, this is when this is through TMZ, which I have them too, but this is the one. Get down. I can't see that. I don't know how to get that down. But anyway, this is when they swatted the house.
The boss is riding high after his sold-out River Tour.
Let's your first top 10. They want 3 for the next.
Witness a true story.
We've never been about singles, but the album.
Of risking it all.
Oh, that looks like a good story.
How unconventional it is.
To fight for what you believe in.
These new songs, the only thing making sense to me.
And we'll get it. Whatever it takes.
Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Rated PG-13.
I'll go out wide and keep you covered.
This is one of the houses he transferred.
I'm gonna keep you covered. Go ahead. I got you covered. Come right here. There's too many windows. Here, knock on the door.
Oh,
We got a phone call from here
let me put up.
saying that somebody was dead. Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address? That's it.
That's it. What actually got?
We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman screamed. I'm serious. That's why we came up here like this because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead.
No, sir. No, sir.
Knock on the door. We need to talk to him. We ain't got time for this.
Ma'am, we got to figure out what's going on so we can leave, okay?
This was the
They
18th.
made contact. They said nothing happened here. She shut the door. Now she's calling 911.
That's clear. We haven't received a call.
I believe she's going to be in the process.
Go ahead, give him a call if you want to verify it. Okay.
All right, she's calling you now. There's more than one.
Can you repeat, sir? Broken traffic.
Huh? That's not normal activity. If you were at the wrong address, they'd be concerned about somebody else. They'd be like, really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be trying to help.
Can you send Tinder 42, sir?
Sorry to bother you, but somebody called and said there was something. I mean, there was a person that where they called on themselves. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, there's somebody dead.
Someone's dead. Yeah.
That's why we have. I mean, we have to take caution. You know what I mean? Wasn't trying to scare y'all. Just this house is way off the roadway.
So you just opened the gate and came in?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it back. I have a gate just like it.
I think it's probably different.
Yeah, when it's something like this, when they say somebody's dead, their life matters more than you know what I mean. I didn't damage your gate. I just opened it. Ah, it ain't on their phone.
And this is not a Texas.
Yeah, it's an out-of-state number.
Someone's messing with us.
But whoever it would be pinged here though, because wherever they call from, it pings and sends it to dispatch.
Okay, and the people told
So,
me
like,
the other
whenever you call
night when I
911,
did
wherever you
this,
are,
that was a
it sends
California
a-
number
It sends like a
that called.
ping. So that's how they know the address.
And this address came up to this number? Yes, ma'am. That's where he was. County to engine 42. So is that somebody on my property?
It could be. We'll check the property for you. Yes, please. So we'll ride around. If you can give me a layout, how's the property? Like, does it go further? Like,
No, it doesn't go any further back. It's right here, and then it goes
on
right
the
here.
fence, there was a gate here, and the fence around. It's a private fence. Well, him and I will ride around and check, and then we'll leave. You know?
Yeah, okay. So that was a false alarm. See, I don't like this kind of thing. So if I really do have an emergency, then
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
If you do have an emergency, you know we're going to be here.
Okay.
We're going to get here.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.
So listen, somebody was telling me the other night in my live that was a California number, area code too, that called. Kids answer the door, correct? That makes the officer's statement weird. The kids did the right thing, get the parents. I don't know. It's just all weird, if you ask me. It's weird. It was a ping. I have the full videos of the officers that told her it pinged everybody in here that was in here the other night where I played the full videos that the police department sent me. Please put a 1 in here if you heard them say that the officers told the parents. It pinged from there. Please put a 1 in here because it pinged from there. Thank you, Lady Q. Sure did. I've been talking to you respectfully. I don't tell lies over here. I had receipts. I still have receipts. I'm just not going to sway off of what I'm doing and go get them because I'm not that kind of channel. When I'm geared up, I'm geared up. It's in my past lives, and you can go back and look from a night or two ago. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Leslie. And in fact, they sent me about 4 different shots of the body cams, the full body cams, where they were even driving down the roads, meeting up with other cops. I mean, I've got more than TMZ's even put out. And a lot more than that right there that I just showed. It was just convenient for me to get to this morning. And the actual written police report. So, yeah, you can go back and look at all that, and that's exactly what they said. They even thought it could have been a crazy neighbor down the street they saw on the porch. But it did ping from there. Absolutely sure did. They even thought that it was somebody named, what was it, Jacob? Y'all, I don't remember the name, but I even called at the end the number. So there you have it. But yes, absolutely. Sure did. So that was that. Hold on a minute. Get this down. You want to come to Smiley's, you're very welcome to, but I can guarantee you, Smiley's going to tell you the truth. That's right. Smiley does her homework. Smiley does her homework. And if I tell you something, I'm going to know it. And if I don't know it, I will find out. Period. So there's that. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. Hey, Millie. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. So hold on. Let's see what we got here. Got one more here. Oh, this may be the same one. I think this, no, oh yeah. Let's see. Yeah. New video. Hold on. I don't know if this is it or not. What is this? This might be it. I don't know. Oh yeah, this is it, I think. Oh, I think this is it. Let's see.
It is a mystery that has so many looking for answers. How did a 15-year-old girl end up dead in the trunk of a singer's car? Tonight, we're learning new details of the high-profile case. And Eyewitness News reporter Leon Suter is live with what investigators are revealing and what they're still trying to determine. Leanne?
David, we're getting a first look at the death certificate, as well as new details about the timeline of that disturbing discovery. But yet, still so many questions remain. The biggest one of them all is, how did the 15-year-old die? The death certificate revealing few clues about how Celeste Rivas died, only that she was not pregnant. The cause of death listed as deferred as the coroner and detectives work to figure out how the 15-year-old's decomposing body ended up in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to singer David.
In order for there to be a prosecution, law enforcement has to find some key pieces of information when it comes to a potential homicide. First, they actually need to figure out if it's a homicide or not, and the autopsy report will help give them that. Then they have to figure out the who and the how in order to bring charges.
The LAPD says the Tesla at the center of the case had been parked in the same spot in the
See,
Hollywood
they're
Hills
still
for
working
several
on it.
weeks.
Nobody
before
knows
eventually
who
being
or
towed.
how.
Not far
Nobody's
away, detectives
accusing.
were seen taking evidence, including a computer from a Hollywood Hills home where the singer had recently stayed. According to the LA Times, the lease on the home had been broken early, and David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, had moved out. The Times also reporting the Tesla was ticketed 11 days before the teen's body was found inside. According to the timeline, on August 27th, a parking enforcement officer marked the singer's Tesla. Then September 3rd, an officer issued a parking citation. 2 days later, the car was towed to a tow yard in Hollywood. September 8th, a worker noticed the smell, investigators discovering the teenager's decomposing body inside.
In the back of my mind, you died.
Online, fans targeting the romantic homicide singer's lyrics and music videos that feature gory imagery and themes.
The heavier the snow.
In one, what appears to be a blindfolded David in a bloodied shirt stands by as two people put a body into the trunk of a car. Another video depicts a girl's arm being cut off. Rivas.
So, I mean, very dark stuff. So again, you know, it's very dark. There's a lot going on here. And again, by him transferring all this stuff, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I just think people need to wake up, stay woke, because this is some crazy stuff. I think it'll, you know, I think, I don't know if it'll be resolved or it's going to be like another OJ. I really don't, again, to answer that question. But now he's done stuck his foot in it, and it's probably going to turn out more civilly than it will criminally, in my opinion. By her family knowing, and the teacher knowing, and the friends knowing, and this one knowing, and that one. Will she ever really get justice? I don't know. But I hope, you really can't make that kind of evil and not invite evil into your life. You can't, and I think there was a lot of evil surrounding him. I do believe that. But I believe there was signs that his family should saw. And again, if they didn't know, they should have known. That's my opinion and my story. And I'm sticking to that. Again, I don't care how fancy you are or what your last name is. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care. You do bad things, it's going to come back to bite you. And everybody in this world better wake up. The truth always comes to light, in my opinion. Too many people get away with too much, or they think they do, but it always comes out one way or another. Years later, it always comes out. But, just by hiding behind money and family and names and all this fake BS, it ain't working. People see right through you. But what's done in the dark, it always comes to light. And I'm saying it loud. Wake up, world. Wake up. Stay awake. Don't close your eyes to this. Hopefully, Celeste will get justice by everybody involved. A lot of people, in my opinion, maybe not physically, but a lot of people's got blood on their hands. You know, justice has no favorites. The truth don't take bribes. They don't take bribes. I know there's some good, honest people still out there in this world somewhere. Y'all, thank you for being here. This is Smiley on Smiley's World. And I'm going to keep saying this. I'm still going to keep asking this. I am still going to keep saying her name. I am still going to keep asking questions just like you. They don't want them asked. Silence, though, it helps nobody, right? It only helps the guilty. Somebody's guilty of something. She didn't put herself in that front. She didn't. She was a child. She was still a child. And she is the victim. She's the victim. She's the victim of getting gone from her house again when she come back. She's a victim of partying it up with her brothers and sisters. She's a victim of, was it trafficking? I don't know. She's a victim of everything. She's a victim and she's gone. She didn't deserve that. She deserved, if it was her time to go and pass away, to not be in a bag, in a freaking trunk somewhere, in a nasty car. She deserved to be surrounded by love. Who loved her unconditionally? Who gave a damn? Everybody should be ashamed. Everybody failed Celeste. Hope they're sleeping well. But now, stay woke. Watch, look, listen. It's going to be about the money. Will it be about justice? Or will it civilly be about money? Money's the root of all evil, y'all. Thank you for being here. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Y'all have a great day. Love you all. Bye.